Good evening and welcome. I'm Sheila Balgobin and I am the Dream Decipherer, and I help you to crack the code of your sleep and dreams so you can sleep sound and dream deep. This evening I have three dreams, but they're so short that it only takes two lines to describe all three dreams. So let's find out what's in this contained in this very short summary. As always, even short dreams or little dreams can contain lots of information. So let's see what's going on. The first, um, well, there were the first two dreams that are mentioned. This is two separate dreams where the dreamer lost their keys. Now, the next dream in this sequence was that it's sandwiched in between these two dreams about lost keys. The dreamer um, found themselves in a bookstore, a popular bookstore chain, with his sons, and they came down ill with lead poisoning, and the dream ends there. So what is going on? It's like I said, it's not doesn't seem like there's much to go on, but dreams are very compact in with regard to providing information. So they can deliver a lot of information in just a short burst. So let's see what's going on with them. What's the first and third dreams, which is about the lost keys. Now, my first question here for the dreamer was, well, which keys were lost? Were they house keys? Were they car keys? What kind of keys were they? If they were house keys, houses in general in our dreams represent ourselves, our lives, and the different rooms in the house represent different aspects of our lives. So if they were house keys, it's like what's going on perhaps at home that needs to get lost or feels like it's lost. What's going on there? If they were car keys, cars in our dreams generally represent literally our journey through life. Sometimes we're on foot, sometimes we're on in a taxi, sometimes we're driving, sometimes we're being driven, sometimes we're on a plane or riding a bicycle, whatever the case may be. But the vehicle represents our journeying through life. And sometimes it's a faster journey, sometimes it's a slower journey. Sometimes we're literally in the driving seat, and sometimes it's others that are driving us around. So if these were car keys that were lost, there's an implication of either a lack of agency, i.e., can't drive. I'm not in the driver's seat because I can't find my keys. Or it could mean that there's a stoppage or blockage of movement in some way. Though my question here was kind of, well, how did you get to the bookshop? Did you walk? So there's different things being implied if they were actually car keys that were lost. It's was there is the dreamer able to act on their own initiative in waking life, or are they being driven around or driven nuts by someone else? Um, but my question here is, does the dreamer feel in some way that they have lost the keys to living their life or some aspect of their life in the best possible way? There's also another meaning of keys here, and that I'm thinking of, and it still refers to direction or having a sense of direction, and that's like the key to a map. Like you have at the bottom of a map or on the side of the map, you'll have a key to tell you that how a centimeter equals this much many miles or kilometers, or these symbol means this or that symbol means the other. So it's a guide to telling the reader of the map what the various symbols on the map actually mean. So my question here was for the dreamer: if we look at the keys as being a code of some kind or symbols on a map, does the dreamer somehow feel that they have no keys or key to understanding his direction or destination in some way, or the path in which to choose to make this journey? So we'll leave that for a moment. We'll leave the lost keys and we go to the dream that was sandwiched in between the two dreams about the lost keys. Um, the dreamer reports that they were with their two sons, in a bookshop, and they became ill with lead poisoning. So my first question here was it the during this visit to the bookshop that the three people became ill, the dreamer and the sons, or was the bookshop unhealthy or dangerous in some way? Um, there's a kind of interesting juxtaposition of going to a place, a shop, and becoming ill with lead poisoning. I mean, that use lead poisoning, unless it's in the water, or years ago they used to use lead in paints, and the paint would peel off the wall, and children would eat it and get lead poisoning that way. But where did this lead poisoning actually come from? How did they become ill with lead poisoning? You have to ingest it in some way. Now, the interesting thing about this, they were in a bookshop, and the implication that books are our source of knowledge. Um, but has could these books be representing something that could be perhaps dangerous or unhealthy in some way to the dreamer, and by extension the dreamer's sons? And my other question here was, what was the dreamer actually looking for in this bookshop? Was it something for himself, something for the children? Um, One thought that came to me about this is about a little knowledge is a dangerous thing. And I just wonder if there is somehow the connection between acquiring knowledge and putting oneself into danger. Now, you could also read lead, and in terms of the mineral, as lead. So it's written the same way, but one is pronounced, they're just pronounced differently. So, and I wonder if there's something about leading or not leading, that could be considered somehow harmful for the dreamer. Where does this bookshop lead rather than led the dreamer? Is it leading towards some knowledge that somehow is unhealthy or dangerous for the dreamer? So, going back and looking at these three dreams, that with this dream about the lead poisoning, and in the bookshop, sandwiched in between the two dreams about the lost keys, um, there's something. First of all, the first thing that I noticed was that, like, the twos, there were twos appearing in this dream, which, I mean, like pairs, two children, two dreams about keys, and two meanings to certain to the different aspects of the dream. So there's something about partnership or balance that seems to be implied by these dreams. I found it interesting that these two dreams were acted bracketed or sandwiched the dream about the bookstore in between them. And you have somebody who's lost something. They're in a place where they can find something, but in the end they lost. They were still had lost something, so they hadn't gained. There had, in that sense, there was no movement. They went to a place where they could have perhaps found keys, um, but in the end, they did not. And in fact, it seemed that the uh, going after or acquiring this information or these keys actually ended up poisoning the dreamer and the dreamer's sons. Now, come back to the two sons here. Again, a pair, two. And there's the I wonder here if these two boys could actually be representative of some aspect of the dreamer himself. Maybe they represent the dreamer at the ages of these two children, and I wonder if that's the case, if there's some significance of the ages of these two children and something that may have been significant in the life of the dreamer himself. Now, this in this bookstore, they three of them become ill without any apparent um, contact with lead. And I wonder if there's an area of the dreamer's life that makes them feel sick in some way when they think about it or when they try to find out about it. Or is there something that some belief system, perhaps, a way of thinking that the dreamer perceives as being sick in or sickening in some way? And I wonder whether this even as the sickness left the dreamer and the two boys unbalanced and unwell. I wonder if this sickness that the dreamer may be considering or contemplating can somehow upset the balance of the dreamer's life. Um, there's just something about that's what is this sickness and why did it suddenly come upon them, and in a bookshop of all places where they're not theoretically not ingesting anything that could contain lead. Now, the um, another question that comes up for me is: does the dreamer somehow feel that they've lost their way somehow in life, or have lost a sense of direction in their life? There's no key to understanding the map or pathway of their life, perhaps, or there's no keys that are available to open doors or to drive a vehicle forward. So a sense of being locked out or maybe even locked in, or but certainly being stuck in some way. And is that a feeling that is in some area of the dreamer's life that is like that they just feel stuck, they can't find their way forward, and they don't have the key to be able to do so. Um, Now, my final question here for the dreamer was: does the dreamer intend to keep walking forward even without these keys or map, no vehicle or a place to put to open a door to open with these keys, even at the risk of poisoning the dreamer's life in some way? There's something here um, about a way of being or way of thinking that may actually be poisonous in some way, and it particularly related to the family, since the children were involved in becoming ill. And I wonder if there's a decision or a pathway or a train of thought, perhaps, for the dreamer that would cause some kind of upset and make the family, by extension, ill or unbalanced. So there you have it. You see, a dream of two lines, or dreams with summarized in two lines, actually contain quite a bit of information, or at least several questions that might be helpful for the dreamer to look at. And if you have a dream that you would really like help with, you can send it to me. I will work on it anonymously, or you can actually get in contact with me and I will work on your dream off air, in private, and share the results with you. You can contact me at www.meetingwithsheila.com to book a free 15-minute consultation to get some tips on how you can approach your dreams. Or you can book a session with me and I will do a full analysis of your dream for you. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Have a great evening and rest of the week. And I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye bye.